Hi, this is Abandon. I am coming back at you with another video. Yes, that's what I'm doing. I was debating what I wanted to do for this video. Either I wanted to talk a little bit more about asexuality, but due to some recent thoughts that I've went through, I kind of want to talk more about the journey to self-care. And why I say this is that I have dealt with a lot of self-harm issues throughout my life, starting really, really young, where if you remember from the previous video, I never felt that I fit in. And it was always made apparent to me that I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't being enough. And I would always try to make myself live up to whatever standard it was. I mean, looking back at it now, it's very difficult to realize that the environment that you were in shaped your whole world. And you kind of have to keep that in mind when you look back at it, because there's a lot of, for me at least, there was a lot of guilt, there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of just things I needed and still need to this day to put in its place and leave it there and not let it encroach so much into my life today that it is detrimental to anything that I would like to accomplish in life. But that's the self-care part of it, where I'm allowing myself to care for myself. And that is very difficult for me, and I almost kind of have to come up to a peace treaty where we really don't, it's like an armistice, I don't know how to pronounce the word, but there's no real peace settled. It's just I will agree not to allow the self-hatred and everything to take over my life. It doesn't go away. It for me, it doesn't go away. It's there every day, and it's always waiting. And I kind of, there's a mindfulness that I've had to develop over the years through, yes, through therapy and through just caring about myself and being around people that foster me caring about myself. And they hold me to this, like, I'm not, it's not like they don't allow me, but they give me space when I need it, and then they also won't let me go too far down, and I kind of need that. It's kind of like a push-pull. I never really know what I need in any circumstance when I'm dealing with issues of depression or anxiety or what have you, and I'm trying to figure it out just as much as everyone else. So I started self-harm very young, and it involved putting myself in dangerous situations, and there have been multiple times where I, would try to walk in traffic or stuff like that. And also, there was events in my life that led up to this, but I'm not getting into that. Then, after some time, and in high school, it was a very hard time for me. It's like this whole, area of, I didn't quite get bullied so much because I was always the crazy kid, and people were afraid of me in a certain aspect. I did get my share of bullying, and I did get my share of abuse, but there was a lot of other things that impacted me more than school, like home life impacted me more. What was going on with the people that were supposed to be there to nurture and support me actually had more of an impact on me than the students, and they had an impact on me too. So it was like two areas that just I couldn't catch a break, and I did end up in the hospital with a suicide attempt. And it was in the hospital that actually I started the practice of cutting. And it's a very interesting thing. Like, I didn't cut before then. I just put myself in positions where I could get hurt. But I had a therapist when I was young that said to me, and I'm a teenager, mind you, said to me, "You will never cut yourself. You're not brave enough to cut yourself." And as a teenager, I mean, come on. I don't know if that was the best thing to say. So yeah, I started cutting, and I did cut for, self-destructive behaviors, suicide attempts, up into my 20s. And it wasn't until I reached a tipping point that I was like, this is not the life I want to live. And I'm not saying it's going to be different for everyone. And the reason I'm sharing this is because if someone sees this and they feel alienated, isolated, or what have you, you are not alone. There are people that have been through it and continue to go through it, but they may be... I know how everybody says, like, it gets cured. I've never been cured, and I don't know if I will be cured. I'm not striving for being cured. I'm striving for living each day to the best I can. That was a thing that was hard for me, too, is I never felt... I heard, oh, I was depressed, but I got over it. And I'm like, some people do. I didn't, and that was just one more thing that I would use against myself. Why aren't I good? Why aren't I strong enough? Why do I fail at even getting better? Sometimes there's not a better. There's not a well, there's just surviving and using that survival to make your life better. That's kind of a very subtle difference, but it's still a difference. Don't let anyone tell you how your journey and how your self-care should go. That's what I want to say. And I mean, one of my treatments was getting body modification, like, that's on my hands and my arms, if you could see that. Everybody does it differently. That was mine. And making my body fit. I mean, thinking back on it, I think some of it is, how I perceive my body and my gender, and trying to make my body fit a gender. And I'll explore that later. But yeah, the journey to self-care, it's not something that is instantaneous. It's not something that, or it could be instantaneous, but it isn't for me. And maybe it isn't for someone else. And if you're watching this video, it's okay that it's not instantaneous. You're not messing up. You're not failing. You're enough. That's what I wanted to say. Alright. Hope all's well. Bye.